Sam got together. Now, they had already spent... Is it... Anyway, they had already spent 3 years at university together. Is it? It is working. Right, okay. They had already spent 3 years in university together, and they didn't get together until afterwards. But there was always signs they got on. They were always the best of friends. Woody commented in the past that they spent loads of time watching cartoons together, and Woody said, well, it's really strange, but I think we now know why they spent so long watching cartoons together, and we can all see why, because obviously they're a perfect match. Emma was in Aberdeen for a year, doing her masters, and I think Sam showed real commitment. He flew up every other weekend. He'd get on a plane at he'd have to get up at 5, 6 in the morning every Saturday. They spoke to each other every day on the phone. And I really think Emma could have moved to Australia and she wouldn't have been able to shake him off. But I am glad to say that they're not actually moving to Australia. They're coming to Watford now. And we're all delighted to welcome them back to Watford. Not only good old Sam, but also Emma. We're delighted to welcome her to Watford. Right. Okay, so I did talk earlier about me possibly being a bad influence on Sam. Well, if there ever was a good influence, then it is obviously Emma. She somehow managed to persuade him to cycle across France, which I think is probably her greatest achievement. How she done that, I don't know. But he did need to shed a few pounds, so well done, Emma. But seriously, she's made Sam so happy. You only need to look at the smile on their faces at the church to just see how much they love each other. I know from conversations I had with Sam, going back even into the early stages of their relationship, how much Emma meant to Sam. I remember we had one conversation, I'm trying to think what we were doing at the time. Oh yeah, we were playing Champ, that was it. And Sam was on the phone to Emma as he would speak to her every day, and he ended the conversation the same way. He said, all right then, gorgeous, okay babes, all right, love you, yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to seeing you, okay then, gorgeous, okay, bye. All right then, mate, should we get a couple of beers in? But then he'd turn to me and he'd say, look, I've only been on the phone for half an hour, do you think I'm giving her enough attention, do you think she likes me? And I said to Sam, look, I said, stop worrying about it. I said, Emma's the nicest person you'll ever meet. She's so forgiving, she's so kind. She's not going to worry whether you're on the phone for half an hour, 10 minutes, or an hour. It really doesn't matter. She loves you. And I also said to him, look, mate, get your head together. You've got a big game against Barcelona coming up. You can't be thinking about things like that. And he said to me, I know, I'm just a worrier. But in the end, it all worked out, and I think he went through on away goals. He went through on away goals, so it's all worked out. But seriously, the two of them are lucky to have each other. They both deserve to have found a soulmate in who they can trust, depend, and hopefully share many happy years with. So, I know it's already been done once, but kind of lost its meaning now. So, I would like to raise a toast to two good friends of mine, Sam and Emma.
Sam and Emma.
Right, haven't quite finished. Just a tiny mention. It wouldn't be quite complete if I didn't mention a brief word about the culturally enriching experience that was Prague 2011. I'd love to tell you all about it, but I can only reveal a little bit, as can Sam, just a little bit. But I will say that there were 3 main victims, okay, and you'll know this later on, but there were 3 main victims. Sam was one, I was another, and Woody was the unfortunate soul who was on the receiving end of... Oh, he just got screwed over time and time again. One example would be the cab that he got. It was a 5-minute walk, but he decided to go for a cab, and it cost £70. I think he must have had mud written on his forehead that weekend, because somehow he managed to spend a silly amount of money. And just to say a little thank you, both from Sam and myself. I know financially you've been hurt a little bit by that trip, so we've got you a little something just to really help you on your way, and this should get you back on your feet. Okay, so if you'd like to just unwrap that's going to get you well and truly back on your feet. Okay, we've really bent over backwards with this one. Don't hang around too long, it's getting awkward, mate.
Keep your piggy bank.
So that's just a little something to help him on his way saving. But yeah, there was 3 main victims, and needless to say, being a Prague stag do, it was very blue. It was very blue indeed. Particularly where Sam was concerned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you all just a little idea of what actually went on, and Stu's going to do that for me. I've printed off a few photos from the stag do. It's a little bit against etiquette, but I've done it nonetheless. Each table's going to have just a packet of photos, because I was just a little concerned that my speech wouldn't have embarrassed Sam enough. Okay? That's me done. Enjoy.